Phil Jackson criticized Carmelo Anthony, says the star holds on to the ball too much. Carmelo came out to the media today and said again he'd like to keep these type of criticisms to one-on-one conversations. We've also seen Melo take to Twitter and put some interesting tweets out there, seemingly in response to Phil Jackson. What do you make of star player and GM and the way that they're going about with their communication process?
Well, first of all, Phil just been out of line for a minute now with the LeBron statements. Would not stay in his place as being in the office now and not being the coach. Stepping on Hornacek's toes with saying certain things about what's going on in the locker room and how they should run the triangle offense. Now he's saying Melo holds on the ball too long. I think he needs to just stay in the office. And those comments, the timing of those comments are bad because the things you said about LeBron and the posse comments, they're still fresh considering you just played Cleveland. Now it's more comments talking about the star player on your team when you know for a simple fact that him and LeBron are close. So the timing of the statement was bad. I think Phil needs to just stay in his place, and that's upstairs in the office. But I think Carmelo is handling it right. He has the right to speak his mind and without being disrespectful, and I think he's done that.
Yeah, I think you're right about Phil Jackson as far as understanding his role. But I can't say I disagree with what he says. You watch Carmelo Anthony play. Heck, Steven, you guarded him. I guarded him when I was a lot younger, and he was a lot younger. But that's his rep. I mean, that's what he does. That's
Holds on the ball.
That's why he's never been to a finals before. I mean, his rep is kind of, this is who he is, and I don't know if he's going to change. I think Phil looks at it like, Michael didn't want to play in the triangle. Kobe fought it for some time.
Sure.
But when those guys bought in, they won championships. For a guy like Carmelo Anthony, I don't know. You're closer to the NBA than I am. Is he still someone that other NBA teams go, you know who we need? We need Carmelo Anthony.
I'm not sure because he's been the same player and been in New York this whole time. But look, let's be realistic. Jordan and Kobe held the ball too. Okay, let's be honest. They held the ball probably longer than anybody. Okay, but at the same time, Melo's not he's not the triangle guy. He's just not. He's an ISO guy. So one thing Phil has to understand, Melo's been the same player. He's been holding the ball all this time. You can't come in 14 years later and try to change someone who's been all this time.
Are they going to try to move him? And when you hear this stuff with Phil saying this about Carmelo, and would they actually just say, all right, trade deadline, let's get rid of him, we'll go younger, and life moves on in New York without Carmelo?
Well, he has the no trade clause, so he has to agree with it. But maybe the way Phil's handling things, the way he's saying things, is going to force his hand. Phil know he can't move him right now, but if Carmelo agrees to it, to agree to being moved, then hey, maybe it might happen.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
This is a push out type scenario.
Oh yeah, the more I think about it,
right?
Because why is he planting these seeds? Because the reality is, I think the Knicks are probably overachieving. Not like blowing it out of the water, but I think they've been a pleasant surprise. Heck, they've actually been fun to watch. Like, I watch Knicks games. A lot of games come down to the wire. D. Rose looks like he's playing with fresh legs. Obviously, Porzingis. But maybe Phil is just like, screw this. Let's get Carmelo out of here and let's build around Porzingis.
That's what it seems to me, Steven. Do you read into that as well?
I mean, that's definitely a possibility because how he handled it. Look, Phil knows he's in New York. He knows everything he says is going to be scrutinized, is going to be blown up, and everybody's going to hear it, and they're going to put their own little twist on it. He knows that just as well as any player in that locker room knows that. But at the same time, Phil, this is how Carmelo's been his whole career. If you're trying to sabotage and send him somewhere else, there's other ways to handle it. But like I said, the timing of Phil's statements, along with the team not playing too well, along with the posse comments, LeBron, it's just all bad time.